This is the story of a woman who gave everything to everyone. Her friends called her when their relationships fell apart. Her family called her when money was tight. Her colleagues called her when they needed someone to listen. She always picked up. And one day, when she had nothing left to give, she realized something that changed the rest of her life. Not one of them called to ask how she was. Her name was Clara. She was 34 years old and worked as a nurse in a busy city hospital. She was good at her job. Not just technically, but in the way that mattered most. She remembered names. She stayed late. She held hands when no one else would. Outside of work, not much was different. Her younger sister called every Sunday, not to catch up, but to unload. A difficult week, a fight with her husband, money stress. Clara would listen for an hour, sometimes two, and hang up feeling heavier than before. Her sister would hang up feeling lighter. Her best friend from college, David, appeared every few months, always between jobs, always between relationships, always needing somewhere to land. Clara fed him, listened to him, talked him through it. He would disappear again once things stabilized. Not out of cruelty. He just didn't think to stay. At the hospital, there was a colleague who cried in the break room almost every week. Clara was always there. Always with the right words. Always with tea she made herself. Clara told herself this was just who she was. She was a helper, a nurturer, someone built for this. But at night, in her apartment, she would sit by the window and feel something she couldn't name. Not sadness, exactly. More like hunger. A specific kind of hunger that no amount of giving ever seemed to feed. One November, Clara got sick. Not seriously. A bad flu. A week in bed. Nothing dangerous. But enough that she couldn't work. Couldn't answer calls. Couldn't be available. She sent a few messages, letting people know. Then she waited. Her sister texted once. "Get better soon. Call me when you're feeling up to it. I need to tell you about what happened with Marcus." David didn't reach out at all. The colleague from work sent a voice message. "Hope you feel better. Oh, and while I have you, do you remember what time the Thursday meeting is?" Clara lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. She wasn't angry. That's what surprised her. She wasn't devastated. She was just finally clear. She had built her entire sense of value around what she could do for people. And the moment she couldn't do anything, she became invisible. Not to them. They hadn't changed. To herself. She had been invisible to herself for years. She just hadn't had a quiet enough moment to notice. On the 5th day, Clara's neighbor knocked on her door. An older woman named Ruth. Quiet, private. Someone Clara had exchanged maybe 20 words with in 3 years. She was holding soup. "I noticed you hadn't left in a few days," Ruth said. "I made extra." Clara almost cried at the door. Ruth came back the next day. And the day after, they started talking. Really talking. The way Clara almost never got to because she was always the one listening. On the 3rd visit, Clara told Ruth what she had been feeling. The hunger. The invisibility. The way being needed had always felt like being loved until the moment it didn't.
The question that changes everything.
Ruth was quiet for a long time. Then she said something Clara would think about for years. "When I was young, I was the same. I thought love was something you earned by being useful. My therapist asked me once, if you stopped being useful tomorrow, who would still be sitting across from you?" I couldn't answer. That was the answer. Clara felt something shift. Not a dramatic revelation, More like a door she hadn't known was closed, quietly opening. She started to understand something about herself she had never been able to see. She hadn't been giving out of abundance. She had been giving out of fear. Fear that if she stopped, if she needed something back, people would leave. And the painful, clarifying truth was this: some of them would. But the ones who stayed, those would be the first people in her life who actually knew her. Clara didn't become a different person. She didn't cut people off. She didn't close her door. She just started doing something she had never done before. She started asking for things. Small things at first. When her sister called on Sunday, Clara listened. And then, before hanging up, she said, "I've been going through something too. Can I tell you about it?" Her sister was surprised. A little uncomfortable, honestly. But when David appeared again, between jobs again, Clara let him in and told him directly, "I'm happy to be here for you, but I need you to check in on me sometimes too. Not just when things fall apart." David looked at her like she had said something in a foreign language. Then he nodded. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Some people in Clara's life drifted away when she changed. Not dramatically, just gradually. The way people do when the dynamic they depended on stops being available. She let them go. And in the space they left, she began to notice the people who had always been there, quietly, without needing anything. Ruth, a friend from nursing school she had been too busy to call back for 2 years. A patient who had sent her a card after discharge that she'd never properly responded to. People who had been reaching toward her, not because of what she could give them, but just because of her. Clara still works as a nurse. She still listens. She still shows up. But she does it differently now. She helps when it makes her feel like herself. Not when it makes her afraid to say no. She gives from a place that is hers. Not from the place that needed to be needed. And something Ruth told her on that last visit stayed with her. The people who love you are not the ones who need you most. They are the ones who want you, not just what you do. If you recognized yourself in Clara's story, if you felt that specific hunger she felt by the window, then you already know what this video was really about. The question isn't whether people need you. The question is, if you stopped being useful tomorrow, who would still be sitting across from you?